Hey y'all, my name is Adina Barnett Miller, but I'm known to my students as Mrs. B. I've been passionate about West Virginia history for as long as I can remember, but my mom would tell you it all started when I was 3 years old and she bought me a West Virginia counties puzzle at Gino's Pizza. I've taught history in Ripley, West Virginia for over 20 years now, and I'm an adjunct professor who teaches college West Virginia history to high school students. Please join me for West Virginia History with Mrs. B, a field trip across the Mountain State to walk in the footsteps of those who came before us. Hey y'all, it's West Virginia History with Mrs. V, and I'm in the car today with Dave.
Hi everybody.
And we are on McCorkle Avenue, US Route 60, and we are getting ready to take you all into the community of South Charleston. These are our stomping grounds, especially Dave's stomping grounds. His grandma lives in South Charleston, and
Dad grew up here too.
And his dad grew up here, so we're going to give you a tour of South Charleston. They're like different pieces of South Charleston. So there's what's on McCorkle Avenue, there's what's on the off streets, there's things that are newer, there are things that are older. So we're going to take you for a tour of South Charleston. We love this community. It's like a little town. It's like a little hometown with different pieces of a hometown, like right in Charleston. Like there's no dividing line between Charleston and South Charleston.
Right.
So we are going to take you for a tour of South Charleston, and here we are, like we said. There goes the sheriff, deputy flying on McCorkle Avenue.
Now this section here, as we're coming in from the St. Albans side, this is what they refer to as Spring Hill. It's pretty much from the western end of the city over to Jefferson Road. They consider that all Spring Hill.
Do you want to take them to the most important thing that's named Spring Hill?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll do that here in just a second.
I think that would be great. So we are going to take you through here in South Charleston. It is on the south side of the Kanawha River. The Kanawha River is just to your left. This road parallels the Kanawha River. We just drove past Rock Lake Drive, which Rock Lake used to be the place to spend your summers in the Kanawha Valley, because they had a fantastic pool. The bridge that you see there right in front of you, that is the Dunbar Bridge.
Dunbar Toll Bridge.
Dunbar Toll Bridge, and you can see it's coming off right here. So, but that is the Dunbar Toll Bridge. That bridge is, you kind of just hold your breath when you go over it. It's an oldie. Here in the Kanawha Valley, it is not like other bridges. Up in front of us is Thomas. Now it has a new name. What did they
WVU Medicine Thomas Hospital.
Yes, and so Thomas is another one of the Kanawha Valley hospitals. It, like we just said, it is now part of the WVU umbrella. It gave WVU a foothold here in the Kanawha Valley, and so there on the left, that's the Harley Davidson dealership. And I think we're getting ready to turn right, correct? Mm-hmm. To go by my favorite thing that's named Spring Hill. So, and there's King Kebab. King Kebab is like the bomb. So if you like Mediterranean, like Lebanese, Greek, that kind of food, go to King Kebab when you're in the valley. It is so good. Okay, so we are turning here in Spring Hill, and
we are coming up on what they refer to as the sweetest smelling corner in West Virginia.
Hands down, sweetest. This is Spring Hill Pastry Shop. It is, you can see it's small, but it is just the bomb.com right there.
Sadly, we're here too late because it's closed.
They're closed. But you have to park here on one of these side streets to go to Spring Hill Bakery. They're known for their hot dogs, and they're not real hot dogs. They're like eclairs.
Pastry with cream running down.
Yeah, and then you can get them with topping or without topping, and that's chocolate. And so Spring Hill hot dogs are an institution. Spring Hill Bakery is an institution. It's been in the Kanawha Valley since 1947.
Yeah, in the 40s sometime.
Yeah, so 1947, and it's where our family gets birthday cakes now, since their go-to bakery in the neighborhood where Dave grew up, it closed, Duchess.
Long time ago.
A long time ago. So they have been coming to Spring Hill for what? At least 2 decades now for every family?
2 decades, 3 decades.
Yes. So, and right here, we're going back out on McCorkle Avenue. We just wanted to show you Spring Hill Bakery. That's Calvin Boys Jewelers. And if you want a really pretty West Virginia, my heart is West Virginia necklace, earrings, ring, etc., that's where you go. That's where Dave got mine. So here we are driving past Thomas, what is now WVU Medicine Thomas Hospitals. You can see it's quite a huge complex. And so we're headed right under, shortly here, under I-64. And so you can get on the 4-lane and go towards Charleston or Huntington. So, and also here's a huge cemetery.
Sunset Memorial Garden.
Yes, and there's Kenna Homes over there. It's a cooperative living environment that was built, I think, in the 40s, right? Kenna Homes?
Seems to be the 40s.
Yes, and so people own those apartments, and that is an older place to live, but a good place to live. Okay, so we are now crossing under the 4-lane, and we have brand new traffic pattern because
they're doing construction on Jefferson Road.
Yes, the new Jefferson Road connection up to Corridor G, what's the shopping in the Charleston area. There, technically, all of those shops out on Corridor G are part of the city of South Charleston. We are not going to go out there because I don't consider that like the heart of South Charleston. We're headed towards the heart of South Charleston. But South Charleston, let's talk a little bit about the history of South Charleston. South Charleston is a 20th century outshoot of the city of Charleston. Technically, it is not south of Charleston. I mean, I guess it's on the south side of the Canal River.
Of the river, but in theory,
it's south of the canal, on the Canal River, is why it gets the name South Charleston. So, I mean, because if you're looking at a map, you're like, whoa, that's like west of Charleston. But it's south of Charleston on the Canal River is why it gets the name South Charleston. So, really, there's no South Charleston without what is we call the stamping plant. It's Gestamp, I think, right? Yeah, that's the name now. But when that plant opened, and I'm going to show it to you here in a second, it was the largest plant of its type in the world, and so there needed to be a place for all these people to live, and so that work there, and so that's why South Charleston exists. This is a new thing. What are they calling this now? Park Place. Yeah, and the only thing that's open at Park Place right now is the Chick-fil-A.
And the Starbucks.
But this is going to be like more shopping. It's the old coal ash pond.
FMC.
For FMC. And it just kind of freaks me out to think about like going shopping and eating on the old coal ash pond. Yuck. So we just drove by on the other side.
Riverwalk
Plaza, which was built in the 80s. But here's Gestamp. This thing is huge. I'm gonna show you here on the side. We just got the stoplight. But this thing goes all the way to the interstate, and it's like building after building after building. The South Charleston Industrial Park. It is huge. And at one time, this employed, I think, 12,000.
Look at this parking lot.
I mean, the parking lot's massive. And at one time it employed over 10,000 people. And like South Charleston, that's why it exists, because you have the stamping plant, you have Union Carbide, which will drive you by, you've got FMC. Like, these huge employers moved into the valley and forever changed the valley. We definitely need to go by Oaksfield in a little bit. But we're headed to downtown, what I call downtown South Charleston. to show you what was like, it's like a little small town down in South Charleston. So here we go. So, and when I was a kid, this was a hoppin' boppin' place. Would you agree, Dave?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and there's still really cute shops down here, but it's nothing like it used to be.
Back in the 1980s.
Oh, and definitely in the 60s and 70s. And there's Gorby's. This is where we would go.
That's Canal Valley Institution.
Yeah, where you go and buy instruments. You remember the Rose City cafeteria?
I do remember that.
Oh man, my family loves to eat at Rose City. And there's the Creel Mound. We're going to do a separate episode about the Creel Mound. So this is the mound area because the second largest conical mound in the state of West Virginia is here at South Charleston. But as you can see, it's just like a cute little small town, like cutest little area. Here's South Charleston Antique Mall. I mean, it's just adorable through here. Super cute. And then this is one of the old large churches in the community. So, I mean, it's just like a little small town in the middle of a big town. I am a South Charleston fan. If I had to, if you told me tomorrow we had to live in Charleston, this is where I would want to live, is in South Charleston. How about you?
I think I could live here.
You think you could live here? So,
post office that once upon a time was the Kroger. And of course the South Charleston Public Library.
Oh yeah, I've been there to the library.
Used to go there as a kid a lot.
Really? Oh, because you were visiting grandmother. Here in South Charleston.
In fact, we did not have a library.
Oh, here's the LaBelle. Shout out to the Erling family, who we know, who opened the LaBelle Theater, and now it's back open. They run movies, I think, certain times of the week at the LaBelle, but the Erlings opened that theater, I'm trying to think, I think in the 1940s. And so there's the South Charleston Dairy Bar, which is amazing.
I'm old enough to remember when that was the Dairy Queen location.
You remember when that was still a Dairy Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go there with grandmother?
No, Mom, Dad, Sarah, and John.
Well, you all love Dairy Queen. As a family, that's your one of your things. So, but to look how just cute, like small town with the 4 stops and the cute little apartments and little houses. And that's one of the things I used to love about going to football games, like at Oaks Field. You just park on one of the side streets and walk down to the stadium. So this is a neat little building. This used to be
former Edison Elementary.
Yes. And because Kanawha County was segregated, and that was, I think, was that the African American school for the South Charleston area. And then here's more of the stamping plant.
Stamping plant in the industrial park.
Yeah, it's just huge. As you can see, it's like building after building. So like it's huge and like 3 buildings deep. So here's Oaks Field. Can you park here? And we'll go stick our head in. Oh, Dave's gonna do a
3-pointer.
Yeah, 3-point turn. I want to take you all in Oaks Field because it was built during the New Deal. It was a New Deal project. It was a WPA project. So are you just going to park and then we're going to...
I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the alley.
Okay.
Because we've, not done this enough.
What, go through alleys?
Yeah.
So now you get to see an alley in South Charleston. That was not...
Get out of the road.
Be nice
Foolish
to the
squirrel.
Be nice to the squirrel, Dave. Oh, here's the back end of the school. Okay.
I think.
Oh, there's the gym, the old Oaksfield gym. Okay. So you can see this brick wall here for the gym. So if you go up here and park, we can go stick our head in and look at it.
So we're now inside the walls here at Oaks Field. Once upon a time, the home field for the South Charleston Black Eagles. As you can see on that scoreboard there, Eagles and Guests. Like you said, this is a New Deal project, and
a later New Deal project. I think it was built in like 1937, 38. But really what you notice about the New Deal is, you know, you don't get stone walls like this in a football stadium today.
And I think it just speaks of that time in America where you've got the field here in the shadow of the
stamping plant,
industrial park and the stamping plant. It just, you know, kind of gives you that old, you see a lot of that in places like in the Rust Belt, Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, New York.
Yeah.
You know, these like right in the shadows, literally, of these places of industry. And
agreed. And unfortunately, South Charleston High School does not play here anymore. I mean, it's not at their school. Their school's up on the hill.
Once was down here. It's now the middle school.
Yeah.
But they put the new high school out by the back end of Spring Hill.
Yeah.
Kind of like the story of West Virginia, where we've seen all of these schools that, you know, once upon a time were centered in town.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're on the outskirts or in unincorporated communities of the county. So hidden little gem here.
Well, if you've ever been to a game here, or been lucky enough to go to a game here, it is not a hidden gem for those of us who know South Charleston well. I mean, we played here as a student when I was a kid. I can remember Ripley playing here when my younger siblings were in high school. And even as a teacher, I came here to a game as well. Game or two. It's just a different era. It's a different place. That's why I wanted to show you on the inside, because.
And you know what I just realized?
You realized?
Or just came to the thought of. What does this remind you of?
Parkersburg High.
How about the inside of the yard at the penitentiary in Moundsville?
Oh, because of the brick, the stone.
Because of the stone.
Yeah.
And the building here, the gym next to it, the
wall reminds me of Parkersburg High School more than anything. And the old lights. I love the old lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we stopped so you all could see Oaks Field, because I think it's a important part of South Charleston's history that I'm afraid might be forgotten just because South Charleston High School is not playing here anymore. So anything else you want to add, Dave?
I think we're ready to get back into the car and take on a little bit more of a excursion here at South Charleston. Excuse me.
All right, so we're back in the car and we're still driving through South Charleston. So more streets so you can see what this little community looks like. Here's Greg's Barbershop. And we're back at the Dairy Bar.
And Heart in Hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to take them up the hill. How does that sound?
It sounds fun. We can go up the hill. We're going to show you more of South Charleston. We're going to go out of the flat and we're going to go up the hill. There's Olive Tree.
I've heard that place is really good.
I've had their catering and it is awesome. All right, we're headed up the hill. This is Dave's his dad's former stomping grounds up here on the hill.
Whoever has had the data breach, by the way, and I'm getting all these spam phone calls, I might lawyer up.
You're gonna lawyer up?
Uh-huh.
Because you keep getting spam calls?
Yeah.
It's been all day. Alright. So part of the neighborhood here was just taken down and destroyed to build I-64. To
we'll
build
get
64.
into that here in just a few minutes.
Because Dave has been wanting to come up here and talk about this for quite a while. Because this is his dad's stomping grounds. But he lost his childhood home.
He lost his childhood home here in the eastbound interchange in this loop. One of his elementary schools that he attended, Zog Odell Elementary, it was demolished to make way for the exit ramp here. So that's one little piece of the puzzle right there.
So South Charleston at one time, before the interstate came through, it was contiguous. The interstate breaks it into pieces.
This is why you don't see houses on the hillside in this town, because they all got taken out.
They all got taken out. It's so sad when you think about it.
I think we'll run up the Montrose and then we'll come out Rosemont and get the story of the interstate here.
Yeah.
Just to give folks a little bit more of a sense of how big and populous South Charleston is.
South Charleston is huge.
It's like among the top 15 cities population-wise in West Virginia.
Yes. And that's because it includes the hill and not just the flats.
Right.
Oh, there's deer.
3 of them.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to come down the hill. So just be wary. They're just standing up there in the middle of the road. Now, I would live in the flat. I would not live up here on the hill. Just saying. Here's Montrose Elementary School.
They have had a few fights to stay open.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. And then it just, as you can see, we're turning here at the school, but this community just continues up the hill and up the hill.
And if you go out Glendale, you can circle back out here.
Yeah. And eventually this all connects with like Oakwood Road and
yeah, James Park, which will put you out over there in the Weberwood area.
Yeah. Dave knows better than I do since he grew up here.
Hey, there's one.
There they are.
And
they came down
2.
the hill. So there's 2.
And where's number 3?
I don't know. Are you still up there? Yep,
It's still
up there. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Oh no. They're good. Just let him go. Just stay. Just stay.
You stay. I'll go.
So that's the difference between growing up in Kanawha County and Jackson County. You don't kill, like threaten to kill what could be on your dinner table in November or December. So, and here we go right off the hill.
And we'll make the turn here on Rosemont.
Okay. So we're just a stone's throw from I-64, as you saw as we came off the hill. So, I know you weren't planning on telling your family story today, but I think this is a good time to do it.
It's a good part here because we're going to show you here this white house with the 2 gables.
It's coming up.
That was where my grandmother lived. This one right here with the tree in front. And I'm going to block the Berthold's driveway here, even though they're both long gone. My grandmother bought that house 1968, right before my dad came back from the Navy. And the reason she bought that house is because she lived on what was Superior Avenue here in South Charleston. And as that time came up, they wanted to get the interstate built here in the area. And unfortunately, one of the places that they had to go through was Superior Avenue. So the government came in, gave her her money. It was not, nearly what the house was valued for, which is, pretty much what eminent domain is all about. They will decide what is fair compensation for you.
And so she ended up in the hole.
She ended up in the hole and ended up with that house there back at 308.
Not as big as the original, I'm sure.
No, nowhere near.
Well, and all the neighbors are trying to find houses too, so I'm sure that drove up.
Scrambling.
I'm sure that drove up the prices in South Charleston because the people who live here wanted to stay here.
Right,
in South
because
Charleston.
this was well before we saw that mass exodus in the 80s and 90s of, people going out of state or people moving to, Cross Lanes or Scott Depot.
Or, yeah. The Taze Valley Exodus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there must be something going
on here at Joplin Park.
It looks like there's
probably somebody's graduation
baseball
party.
And there's a party
Holy
and
dang.
there's someone. Oh, watch. It's very narrow. Wow. That's a special kind of stupid right there.
There's a parking lot over there. Is it full?
Yep. It's totally full.
Wow.
All right.
So, over here, as we come back out onto what they call Canal Turnpike, and this runs on the backside of South Charleston.
Just to give you an idea, this
was what once was Union Carbide.
Yes. So that's what we're looking at, and the interstate's down right below there. So we're on Canal Turnpike, where you can just see, it's industrial from up here. So here's Superior Avenue.
What it used to be. And now this is all that is left of it.
Yes. So if you just close your eyes, you can just imagine the road, like it was like this. This is what your dad grew up with. This is, living in South Charleston in the 1950s and 60s. This is such an idyllic street, but this is all that's left of it.
Right.
The rest of it was taken by the government to build the interstate. So do you want to add to the story? Was she angry?
I think she was angry. I think my dad was very angry because here he was off on a boat, patrolling, the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. And then he comes home and his home's gone,
Right. Well, and grandmother was so adamant that he live here in the valley, but the valley he grew up in
It
had changed significantly. And so, you all couldn't afford to live in South Charleston as a young family on your own. So you end up over on the west side instead.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because the number of houses significantly decreased because they put the interstate where they were. So, anything else you want to add?
I think we'll head on down here to the turnpike and then trying to think if there's anything else we need to show them in this street tour of South Charleston.
Oh, more deer. Look, we got the herd. How many was that? 5?
5.
And they're going to cross in front of you again up here. This one is he's tempting you.
Young buck.
Sorry. I have pretty hardcore deer, Dar. You're good this way.
All right.
Watch, they may jump out in front of you again.
Jared Alltop, in case you are watching this, we do not have anything to report.
Yeah, nothing to report. Dave did not hit any deer. So we're good. We're good with our car insurance.
I think that's a good way to encourage us to
listen to me when I say deer, 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 deer.
Yeah, and head on back down to the flat, because I don't think we'll have the deer situation downtown.
They may, but anyway, anything else you want to throw out, Dave, before we go back into the flats?
Well, I think South Charleston, it is definitely an interesting place. It does have its share of history, good and bad, but it is well worth any West Virginian. If you are in the Kanawha Valley, come by, check it out, do some shopping,
do some
grab
eating.
some lunch at Olive Tree and some of the other fine establishments they've got here in the town. They like to pass themselves off. Well, not pass themselves off. Their town slogan is someplace special. And I think they do try to be someplace special with all they do have to offer. So check it out.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on another episode of West Virginia History with Mrs. B. And please make sure to like and subscribe. It would mean so much just if you would do that. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to West Virginia History with Mrs. B on both Facebook and YouTube.